Tropical General Investment Group, a leading international investment and holding company, is revolutionizing the agricultural sector in Nigeria using locally sourced materials, state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities, and a highly skilled workforce. With diversified investment across the globe, TGI is a manufacturer of fast-moving consumer goods, food and agricultural products, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. Founded in 1980, Tropical General Investment Group has since expanded its scope of operation with 19 diverse subsidiary companies, one of which is WACOT Limited. In Bachaka, an agrarian community in Argungu local government area of Kebbi State, an agricultural revolution is underway. WACOT Rice Limited is advancing innovations in the community's rice value chain. Like many farming communities in Kebbi State, for years, residents suffered poor harvest due to substandard seeds and lack of access to agrochemicals such as herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizer. Insufficient groundwater for year-round farming was also a big problem. With no irrigation system, farming was an unprofitable venture. Abba Megari is a 32-year-old father of 4. In years past, he could barely make ends meet with his subsistence farming. But with support from WACOT Rice Limited, he has experienced exponential growth. He recorded a 100% increase in yields from the same land where he could barely harvest 50 bags of rice. Now his fortunes have turned for the better as he gained 100 bags of rice in the last farming season. Maigari is one of over 6,000 farmers registered under the WACOT Outgrower initiative. Under the program, WACOT gives farmers agrochemicals and train them on agricultural best practices. From pre-planting to harvest, expert coaches guide them through the process. The farmers smile to the market with maximum prices.
Muna biyan bukata sosai da shi dan ni nayi gina da shi ta sanadiyar WACOT takin WACOT da muka ansa ni noma na samu amfani ta abin ya bunƙasa gaskiya ni gina ciki ni sai fili ni gina ni aure kuma an yi min aihuwa kusan so 4 yana suna akan wannan abin da muke samu.
An koya mana yadda ake da shan layi da kuma na wace, kuma an koya mana yadda ake gawayi da abin gasoshiya gumi na an nuƙota domin mu dogara da kanmu.
In mun yi noman shinkafar damana muna iya aje wannan abincin har zuwa noma aikin rani sai mu yi amfani da shi lokacin WACOT bata fara ba mu taki ba. To da WACOT ta fara ba mu taki in mun yi noman wannan shinkafa muna iya aje ta mu sai ta mu ɗauki 'yan aiki in WACOT sun ka ba mu taki sai mu yi amfani da shi.
Sabiu Muhammad from Gidan Dangwari in Augi local government area of Kebbi State is on his way to his farm. He is now motivated to cultivate the farmland, knowing he will make good profit from his toils. Sabiu tells me he was initially skeptical about joining the WACOT Outgrower initiative. But now he believes there's no agrochemical in the league of WACOT in the market.
Kafin WACOT su zo muna noma ko da WACOT sun ka zo. To yadda muke noma kafin WACOT su zo gaskiya bashi muka ciwa ga mutane. Mu je mu sai taki. Bayan mun cire amfanin gona za mu biya bashi watakila ma ba mu hita da wani abu duk ya shige wurin bashi. Amma lokacin da WACOT sun ka zo sai an ka hito mana da ainihin wanga tallafi da suke basuwa na noma bashi. Tun ba mu san amfanin abin ba har mun ka sani gaskiya kuma mun ga amfanin abin sosai lokacin, saboda takin da za su baka WACOT baka iya sayan shi, sannan kuma baka zuwa ka samo shi kasuwa yadda za su baka shi. Ka fahimce ne ko? Gaskiya suna ba mu farashi ne ƙasa ga kasuwa, sannan in mun gaje mun kai amfani da shi da takin da magani kowane za mu ga bambanci gaskiya bisa ga ainihin yadda muke amfani da na farkon. Tana ba mu taki NPK, sannan suna ba mu urea, suna ba mu magani na daɓe, akwai kuma na haki wanda haka shi haki da kuma na ƙwari, su suke ba mu ke amfani da shi.
Nigeria is Africa's leading producer of paddy rice with over 8 million metric tons produced annually. 5.4 million metric tons are processed locally, leaving the deficit of consumable rice to imports. WACOT aims to fill in that gap, leveraging over 2 million metric tons of paddy rice from Kebbi State yearly.
We provide them the inputs for their paddy production so that their productivity is doubled. So for example, the output per hectare of land what the farmer is getting. So earlier it was around 2 to 2.5 tons per hectares of farmland, which has now gone up to around 4 to 4.5 hectares. So that is the commitment what we are doing as our corporate social responsibility. We are also working along with the government, and we at WACOT are highly committed and are partnering along with the government to fulfill the agriculture revolution agenda of Nigeria in order to make Nigeria self-sufficient in terms of rice. So that is what we are partnering along with the government. And recent past, we are already commissioned our expansion plants. So we also are doubling our plant capacities. Another state-of-art mill, which will be commissioned in a very short time. So almost the erection and installation work has been completed.
At least 60 to 70 trucks of paddy rice come into WACOT Rice daily at the peak of rice production here in Nigeria. This facility has the capacity to process 120,000 metric tons of rice annually. And by the time the next facility is completed, it will also be able to process 120,000 metric tons of paddy rice annually. That will make it 240,000 metric tons of rice annually coming from WACOT Rice.
WACOT investment activities in Kebbi has significantly contributed to its internally generated revenue.
We grew from a modest production of about 350,000 tons per annum, combined seasons, that's wet and dry season. Today, the average production, I just got the 2022 figures, 2.9 million metric tons of paddy rice. If you mill at 50 or 60% milling percentage, it means you are getting 1.something million metric tons of milled or processed rice. Bulk purchases, you have to pay revenues, and revenues are remitted to the state government coffers. And so this is building on the general revenue collected. So the rice sector is doing a lot. Apart from producing the food and these revenues, jobs are created. Individual families, households, they have improved lives. And to a large extent, around the Fadama axis, idleness has been curtailed to a large extent as far as rice is concerned. So the rice subsector is contributing greatly to the economy of the state and the economy of the country.
Through WACOT's social initiatives, thousands of women and youth have been empowered, in addition to its programs impacting healthcare, water supply, and skills acquisition.
When we're engaging with community farmers, with smallholder farming communities, and we need field officers, we need extension agents, what better place to get these people, than the communities where these farmers are actually situated. So that has really informed, how we source jobs or how we source people to work on certain roles. So a lot of our field officers, our extension agents, our gender officers are people that we extract from those communities and train them. And in addition to that, you have areas where you also want people that have an understanding of the cultural context in place. So if you're talking about, rural communities in certain parts of the country where culture and, the socio-cultural context is very critical, it's very important that the people that are working with those communities are not disrupting systems and are not causing any commotion. So all of this really informs why we extract or we create jobs in those communities.
In 2021, where we had high flood in Argungu, more than 50% of the communities were submerged, and that means quite a number of people were displaced, especially in the lowland areas. And that is where WACOT Rice came in. We ensured we supported them, apart from giving them, of course, our produced rice. We got them mattresses, other kind of food, blankets, and everything. These are things we do regularly for the community. We also the major sponsor for the Kebbi Beach Soccer, where we see ourselves impacting on the youth, because we know that what you know about youth restiveness in Nigeria today. But if you look at it from history, what has been happening, Kebbi State is quite calm. And the Kebbi Beach Soccer Association, we are the major sponsors, where we play tournaments. They play tournaments year in, year out. And I'm proud to confirm to you that WACOT Rice is the major sponsor, and we're not relenting on that. That is a very huge sponsorship. The business, I've thought it wise to open up what we call the WACOT Rice Academy. Now, that academy is sitting on a land size of about 600 hectares. It's a very large expanse of land where whatever you want to think of in rice farming is going to be taught there. But on the job, in the field, in the classroom, the best of all technologies is going to be in that same one location, and this is situated in Kebbi State, precisely in Akingari, town of Kebbi State. So that's where we are situating the Rice Academy, which of course the Kebbi State government is very excited about.
Thousands of jobs have been created directly and indirectly as a result of the multiplier effect along the value chain, from the farms to the markets up to the table of the consumers. Recognizing the significance of traditional institutions and the cultural heritage of the host community, WACOT maintains cordial relationships with the people, beginning with the Argungu Emirate.
We've also benefited a lot from the social responsibility projects, contribution to educational institutions, contribution to renovations of our palaces. WACOT has participated tremendously in the execution of the last event. They sponsored and provided prizes for the best fishermen with the biggest catch. They also provided sponsored and provided prizes for the best rice farmers, male and female, and the general organization of the festival. So we thank God for the benefit and for the presence of WACOT. It has changed the outlook, and the general outlook of our town. And it has so motivated people to go into agric business. People who hitherto had no desire to engage in agriculture, thinking that it doesn't pay. Now are into it, civil servants, traders. We have even our friends from South and Southeast, the Igbos who are trading here, and now we're leasing farms to plant rice for the obvious benefit that the prices in WACOT are good. And people who come from Kano, from Sokoto, from wherever mills exist, are also offering good prices. So, yeah, thank God.
Today, we visit some of the outgrowers to inspect their farmlands. Farmers have developed strong ties with WACOT field supervisors. They discuss solutions for some of the problems they experience. Bashir Abubakar monitors the farmers' progress. He pays keen attention to ensure the farmers are applying the skills they have been taught for good agricultural yield. WACOT agricultural revolution is also being felt in Jigawa State, where sesame is one of the most cultivated crop. In the past 7 years, WACOT has given farmers over 1 billion naira in credit financing to cover inputs such as fertilizers, agrochemicals, and seeds. The company first organized over 10,000 farmers into cooperatives and then provided a guaranteed market through a buyback arrangement in which farmers receive agricultural inputs in exchange for sesame after harvest.
Gaskiya akwai tallafi sosai saboda WACOT mu tsakaninmu da ita sai godiya. Ta yi mana duk abin da ya kamata ta yi mana. Saboda zuwan WACOT ya ƙara bunƙasa mana noman riɗinmu. A shekara akalla yana yin buhu 15 zuwa 20 na riɗi. Buhu 2 zuwa 3 ya ishe ni in biya duk bashin da WACOT ta bani na taki da magani. Ne buhu 2 yakan biya mun duka basin da suka bani.
Da a gona ta idan na noma wannan hekta ɗaya za ka ga bai ban samu buhu 2 na riɗi. Ni kuma dawa kamar buhu 1. To amma da suka zo suka nuna mana a wannan hekta ɗaya ɗin wannan shekarar wannan yadda na samu buhu 6 na riɗi. Dawa ita kuma na samu buhu 3.
Kamar yadda muka saba yi muna yi na gargajiya, muna shuka a nan za mu ƙetare kamar can wurin mu sake sarawa mu shuka. Da wannan ƙungiya ta zo sai aka nuna mana cewar ba haka ya kamata mu yi ba. Haga yanzu misali he muka fahimci cewar aka ganar da mu idan kana da gonarka tana da kunya 50, idan ka shuka ɗaya ka ƙetare ɗaya ka shuka kunya 25, ka tsallake 25, wani 25 ɗin duk ta tashi a aiki.
5 centers in Jigawa State are involved in the Outgrower program. They include Yalawa, which includes the Gagarawa and Kaugama local government areas of the Hadejia Emirate, with a total of 3,000 farmers cultivating 6,000 hectares of sesame. Dammadei, which includes the Ringim and Taura local government areas of the Ringim Emirate. Medu, which has 2,000 farmers and 4,000 hectares. And Kagarawa and Babbansarai, with a total of 4,500 farmers and 9,000 hectares respectively.
We started with 100 hectares. We started with 100 hectares. You know, everything you want to do new is like you are testing it. Yeah. You cannot prove it. But thank God, we got our certification that same year. The same year we started, the same year we got our certification. We did 100 hectares, although the outcome was a little bit far because, you know, when you are doing things new, especially for organic, when you say organic, that means nothing chemical is applied there. You don't expect anything chemical to be in that farm.
Through the Sesame Outgrower initiative, WACOT Limited, which actively supports gender equity and inclusion, collaborates with indigenous farmers to steadily raise yield and productivity while increasing the participation of women and young people in agriculture.
Gaskiya noman riɗi yana taimaka mana da dama kamar wajen karatunmu da kuma rufa mana asiri. Misali, mahaifiyata na yin noman riɗi amma ta ɗan manyanta saboda kuma muna jin daɗin amfanin wannan riɗi da muke nomawa. Shine naga to tunda ta manyanta bari na karɓa abin da take yi ba tare mu rufa kan asiri tsakanin ni da ita. A da ba mu da wani ƙarfi da za mu je mu sai taki mu zuba wa riɗinmu. Riɗinmu yakan samu ya girma sosai, wannan takin da ake bamu idan ya girma mukan samu albarkarsa mu ma har mu samu mu sai da shi mu rufa wa kan asiri.
To train farmers on modern sesame cultivation techniques, WACOT established Sesame Farmers Academy in the Mele neighborhood of Gumel local government area in 2020, where farmers from across the country are trained.
This academy was established about 3 years ago, and the purpose of it is to boost modern sesame farming, especially or particularly the organic sesame and the inorganic around the towns or across the emirate. We are training farmers on this farming of sesame, modern farming of sesame. This school has a great purpose because it improves the economy standard of this area.
WACOT is investing a sizable sum in a Gumel-based enterprise that produces organically grown sesame. The project, which consists of a 450-hectare organic sesame farm, 50 hectares of drip irrigation land, a cleaning facility and warehouse, as well as a farmers' academy, is now fully operational.
The whole farm is about 511 hectares, and it has been fenced roundly. Up to now, we have not started using the whole land, but we are getting there gradually. Right now, the places we farmed this year is above 200 hectares. A lot of people do come here to work. It depends on what are the activities for the day.
In addition to others who come here every day to earn a living, this organic farm employs 200 women across the value chain, accounting for 56% of the total labor force. It currently has 81 hectares of arable land under cultivation, with an average yield of 117 kg per hectare per planting season.
When it comes to land clearing, planting, and other activities, you have like 600 people here. Anytime we have an activities, we will just send them that we are having an activities, and they all come out and everybody works.
In collaboration with government officials, WACOT has over the years intervened in various poverty alleviation programs, educational empowerment, healthcare assistance, and others across Jigawa State.
WACOT processing company brought a lot of development, not only in Gumel local government or emirate, in the entire Jigawa state. It came to enlighten our people about the farming of season, and it came with a various way, a modern way that farmer can use to improve his farming skills. WACOT came with a new variety of seeds that distributed it to our farmers and bring a positive impact. We see it very well. After that seed, WACOT distribute fertilizer. In Gumel local government, we are in financial crisis, and we have a lot of challenge in scarcity of water in various community. So I write an assistant letter requesting WACOT to help us to solve our community problem. With immediate effects, it approved over 10 million naira to purchase hand pump materials.
Currently, WACOT is collaborating with over 70,000 outgrower farmers in Nigeria throughout different value chains, including cotton, soybeans, rice, sesame, and maize. more than 150 demonstration farms have been established to promote good agricultural practices to mechanize the production of cocoa, maize, rice, cotton, and soybeans.